Good afternoon, Assalamu alaikum, and welcome to tonight's episode of Talking Point. Because of technical reasons, we have lost some time, but we'll try to make it up and continue with the discussion. Our virtual guest today from Germany is Mr. Aminur Rahman Khusro, and we have somebody in our studios, Mrs. Rina Musharraf. The topic today is, we were going to talk about in detail about freedom fighters, the movement, and how the country was created, and the necessity, and what were the reasons, and what were the causes that led to the establishment of Bangladesh. Welcome to the show, Mr. Aminur Rahman. How are you today?
I'm very fine. Thank you very much. I would like to thank the viewers and audiences of NTV, especially in Great Britain and elsewhere in the world.
Sorry.
I'm all right. Thank you very much to invite me in your program.
Sorry for the loss of time, but sometimes these things happen even in this day and age. You are president of European Mukti Juddha organization. Is that right?
Yes, it's All European Freedom Fighter Association.
Right.
Sharbo European Mukti Juddha সংসদ. Yes. Yes,
Right.
I'm the president. Yes.
Yeah.
Thank you.
And you are based in Germany.
I live in Germany since 1977.
Right. Which city?
Beg your pardon?
Which city?
In Frankfurt.
Frankfurt.
In Frankfurt
Okay.
am Main.
Right. Now, the necessity of creating a Mukti Juddha Freedom Fighters Association obviously goes back to long time ago, when there was the necessity that was felt for the creation of Bangladesh, right? And the creation of Bangladesh owes it to the dissatisfaction among the masses in the area that was known as East Pakistan those days. And there was this Bangla Bhasha Andolan, the creation of a political party, and then we had 6 points, and then the war for freedom that went on for 9 months. See, and it was, as they say, a bloody war. A lot of lives were lost, a lot of officers were lost, and we finally won our aspirations, our desired end. That was the part that was known as, once East Pakistan became Bangladesh in 1971. Now, we have Freedom Fighters Association in almost every country, almost every city. Sometimes people ask me, it is almost 52 years ago that the country was liberated. Now, what will be the average age of our freedom fighters now? If somebody who was 10 years old at that time will be 62. If somebody who was 20 years old at that time will be 72, and if somebody were old, 30 years old at that time would be 82. I'm not going beyond that because that will be not practical. So what do you think? I mean, there is a lot of opinion, talks, claims, counterclaims, that not all those who claim to be Mukti Juddhas are really Mukti Juddhas. You must have made some assessment, some facts and figures would be there. See, but first things first, I would like to ask you, what is the aim and objective of this organization? আপনি যে চান আপনি বাংলায় কথা বলতে পারেন, কোনো অসুবিধা নেই।
ঠিক আছে, আমি যতদূর পারি ইংরেজিতে বলি, কারণ আপনাদের তো নেক্সট জেনারেশন, মানে আমাদের পরবর্তী জেনারেশন। The aim of this organization is to unite the freedom fighters in all over the Europe. Unite. There is a platform for political parties here. All European Mukti Juddha Sangshod's aim was to create a platform for freedom fighters who are living in many countries of the Europe.
Right.
I'm not talking you, but I'm talking about whole Europe. There have been people who are people are coming to Europe after the military takeover, I don't know. I know a freedom fighter who came in the year of 1973 to Italy and one in Soviet Union.
Right.
They all came with their scholarships in time.
Right.
But after that, after the military takeover of 1975, the freedom fighters have been compelled to leave Bangladesh. They have been forced, they have been tortured, because most of the freedom fighters who took part in the liberation war were followers of Bangabandhu Sheikh Mujibur Rahman. And
well, he was the leader at that time who was leading the nation towards a cherished land. That was the reason.
He never died. He's at our heart, and he remains in the world history for a long time.
Nobody is saying no to that. What I'm saying is that at that moment there was only one aim: to create a separate homeland where Bangladeshi people or people from Bengal could lead the life the way they wanted, right?
Right. True.
The freedom to speak Bangla, freedom to have Bangla as a state language, this was the intention. And that nobody will exploit our economy. That was also the intention, right?
There have been disparities. There have been, you see that Lahore resolution of 1940, which if you go back there, we see that there have been a resolution which had been discussed in the Muslim League, and they said that every Muslims living in that part of the world will have a separate state, where the Muslim majority is there. On those states, they can form a confederation and federation.
Yeah.
That was being not implemented. There was Second World War, and the Muslim League turned down from their ideologies. And Qaeda-Ajam Muhammad Ali Jinnah, he found that conception of federal state, which was not also implemented. So Lahore resolution is a fundamental point of our freedom. From start, that resolution was being created, were thought by many of the Bangladeshis and many of the.
Sher Bangla Fazlul Haq was the one who moved that resolution.
Was also one of them, yes. He was also one of them, and he proposed for that federation system. Yes. But later on, it was not accepted by the Pakistanis because they knew about it. And after that 1966 proposal, and 6-point proposal, there was a main point for that a Muslim state has to be formed. Yeah, there will be many Muslim states. That was the preparation among the activists, the then activists of Muslim League. But later on, one Pakistan was created, and there was disparities. Although there is a difference between 2,000 kilometers. One was West Pakistan, other was Bengal. Bangladesh, Pakistan was named in 1955. First, each Pakistan was named 55 after a few years of our then independence of British India. So what I'd like to say that due to the disparity, due to that several other problems, because our income has been misused by the then Pakistani government. Pakistan was ruled by militaries, and still it's a creating problem. Pakistan military headquarters is the biggest problem.
Okay. We won't have much time for if we went on discussing history. Let us come down to the present time, okay? Now, let us talk about the freedom fighters who are alive today, the organization that you had in Europe. You want to do something good for them, right? The freedom fighters. It is not just a platform. It's not a political platform. It's a freedom fighters association. So you want to do good for them, good for their families who laid down their lives. Their families are still alive, or they are still alive. And the point is that those freedom fighters, as you said before, they went to Russia, they came to European countries, but they didn't go back. They're still living here. We achieved a country to achieve our own aims, but for this reason or that reason, we have chosen to live abroad. That is another thing that we probably will not be able to discuss today. But my point is, what are you going to do now? See, this is about 52 years, as I said before, 52 years later, down the lane, we are talking about now in 2023. What do you do? How do you look after your members?
Disputes why we went to the freedom fighter still remaining in Bangladesh. You are seeing that the reason was homeland, Bangladesh, our motherland, to free it from the spirit of liberation. Yeah,
that was achieved. That was achieved in 1971. Let us move now. Let us move from 1971. We don't want to get stuck there. I'm asking you, what is your organization doing?
Our organization, I'm going to say that. Just give me time. I'm saying that spirit of the liberation was to form a secular state, to bring democracy, to bring socialism to nationalism. We are far ahead from there, and the liberation spirit is not yet been 100% achieved in Bangladesh, and there are some people who are trying to disturb with our sovereignty. They become a threat to our sovereignty, being the citizen of same country.
There will always be certain elements in every country. You know what happened in Germany. You live in Germany. You know the history, the fantastic history. So we don't want to go into that. There will always be some problematic areas that today and tomorrow it will be there. In every country. In the US, they will have problems. In Europe, they will have problems. You see. Now, my question is, what are you doing these days now, 52 years after the liberation?
I'm just trying to say that our job is to unite the freedom fighters in a platform where we part in daily activities is going on in Bangladesh. We have been freedom fighters. It doesn't mean that we are sign off. No, we have not signed off from our activities. We remain in the politics. We remain. We follow every politics in Bangladesh. We take part in politics. We discuss that, and we want to make understand the people of whole Europe. We maintain sound relationship with the British Parliament, maintain sound relationship with the German Parliament, as well as Senate Foreign Relations Committees and French Parliament, where we talk with those parliamentarians and many social and international organizations about the NGOs.
Now,
what was the reason?
What are you doing for the freedom fighters and their families?
Beg your pardon?
I said, what are you doing for the freedom fighters and families, their families?
Yes, you see, that cannot be a job of a freedom fighter.
Do you have a plan for their social upliftment, provide scholarships to their children?
No, we just cannot arrange that because we are very small numbers. All European Freedom Fighters is a organization of only gazetted freedom fighters whose name has been published and who are being accepted by the government of Bangladesh. And their number is something 183,560 freedom fighters.
Back home, we have a ministry, and I was there in January, and I met the minister. Mr. Mozammel, I think, you have a ministry, so they are also saying the same thing, that they are looking after the interest of the freedom fighters. Where do you fit in? Your organization, where does it fit in the whole scheme?
There are many schemes that governments have taken. Sheikh Hasina's, Her Excellency's government has taken enormous steps to give all kind of support to the freedom fighters. The freedom fighters' honorary remuneration was somewhere 1,000 Bangladeshi taka, and therefrom it is now 20,000. And affected freedom fighters, wounded freedom fighters, war-wounded freedom fighters are enjoying a lot of facilities, and Bangladesh is going through the spirit of liberation. That is what government is doing. I'm pretty sure that people are very much corrupted. A government cannot do a lot of things. I mean, that cannot be done anywhere in the world. The advantage in Europe and the advantage of United States of America cannot be an advantage in Bangladesh, because people have to be motivated. People have to be educated. That is missing. And I'm not accusing anybody. But, when the government took over power, Sheikh Hasina's government, then
let us not go on talking about what this government or that government has done, because we are here to talk about the freedom fighters. Freedom fighters are not a political identity now. They have done their job. The nation is grateful to them. Now don't give them a different color. They are freedom fighters. They fought, they laid down their lives.
Politicians, I don't agree with you on this point that freedom fighters should be very much independent. They should not join politics. Of course not. They should join because they come from the politics.
I'm not saying that they should or they should not. I want to know what is their identity, what do they do now? As a head of all European Freedom Fighters Association, what are you doing?
Sorry, please go ahead, then I'll talk.
Right. I said, as president of the Freedom Fighters Association, the European Freedom Fighters Association, what are you doing for their welfare? I know that the government is looking after them. They are getting, despite the fact that wherever they live, the government is providing them with some sort of monthly stipend. That is a wonderful thing that the government is doing. My hats off. But what are you doing? What is your function?
No, our concern is to contact the freedom fighters. You see, I met a freedom fighter who was living in Romania, and he was in hospital, as a matter of fact, for about 7 years, and nobody came to help him. Nobody talked to him. Then I had a discussion with that guy, and he said, I did not eat rice for a long time. Can you arrange that? So that was that personal thing, what we can do. But welfare, if you want to do some welfare, you must have a fund. You just cannot do welfare by sitting somewhere. You have to collect it, and that should be a source of earning also. Yes, and that European Freedom Fighter doesn't have. We don't have that. We give a donation, let's say €100 per year, and there are about 40 freedom fighters. So far, I have found. I talked to the all European countries, and like Spain, there is no freedom fighter. Like in Denmark, there is fighters.
Right. I have with me a guest in the studio. She's from a freedom fighters family, Mukti Juddha family. She is Rina Musharraf. And
yes.
আপনি কি মনে করেন যে এই ফ্রিডম ফাইটারদের জন্য এখন কি করা উচিত? এত অর্গানাইজেশন তো সব জায়গায় আছে, এখানেও আছে, জার্মানিতে আছে, ফ্রান্সে আছে, বেলজিয়ামে আছে, but what should be done? Why do we need this organization if they are not doing anything?
আমাকে জিজ্ঞাসা করতেন না রিনা আপা?
হ্যাঁ, আসসালামু আলাইকুম। আমি এনটিভিকে অনেক ধন্যবাদ আমাকে এখানে জায়গা দেওয়ার জন্য। আমার অনেকগুলা আছে, অনেক অভিযোগ আছে আমার কাছেও। অনেক ফ্রিডম ফাইটারদেরকে আপনারা লুক আফটার করা উচিত। আপনারা যখন এত বড় সংগঠন ক্রিয়েট করেছেন, কিন্তু অনেক জনের অনেক রকম রিকগনিশন পাচ্ছে না। তাদের কিছু রিকগনিশনেরও আমাদের দরকার, বুঝছেন? মানে এই রিকগনিশন না হলে তো অনেক ফ্রিডম ফাইটারের ফ্যামিলি, আমি প্রত্যেক বছরই আমার গ্রামে যাই, তো অনেকজন আছে ভাতা ঠিক মতো পাচ্ছে না, তার ছেলে মেয়েরা, মা বাপ তো বুড়ো হয়ে গেছে, হয়তো কেউ মরেও গেছে, তার ফ্যামিলি উইডো, তাদেরকে লুক আফটার করা। জানি না, আপনি তো ইউরোপের হেড, কিন্তু আপনাদেরও দেশে আপনারা কি খোঁজ করছেন? এই যে বড় বড় কতগুলো মুক্তিযোদ্ধা, তাদের কোনো রিকগনিশনই নাই। তাদের লোকরা, আমাদের নিউ জেনারেশনরা তো তাদেরকে ভুলেই গেছে, তারা যে ফাইট করেছিল। ইভেন এইখানে লন্ডনেও, হু ইজ খালিদ মোশাররফ, হু ইজ দ্যাট কর্নেল হায়দার, হু ইজ কর্নেল কে হুদা। তো এইসব লোকদের নামগুলো আপনারা, গভর্নমেন্ট তো সব কিছু করতে পারবে না, কিন্তু আপনাদের মতো সংগঠনগুলো তো এগিয়ে আসবেন, তাদেরকে সুযোগ দিবেন যে হ্যাঁ, ছোট ছোট মুভি বানাবেন, বাচ্চাদের স্কুলে প্রোভাইড করবেন। কারণ জার্মানিতেও আমাদের অনেক বাঙালি বাচ্চা আছে, লন্ডনে তো নেক্সট টু বাংলাদেশি হয়ে গেছে। তো ওই জিনিসগুলা যদি আপনারা করেন, অনেক অনেক ফ্রিডম ফাইটারের আত্মাটা একটু শান্তি পাবে। ওইটা আমি অ্যাজ এ ফ্যামিলি পার্সন হিসাবে বলছি না, আমি অনেকজনের সঙ্গে কথা বলেছি, তাদের ভিতরে অনেক দুঃখ আছে যে আপনারা এগিয়ে আসছেন না, কিছু করছেন না। এটা আপনার কাছে আমার একটু আবেদন আর কি।
থ্যাংক ইউ ভেরি মাচ মিসেস রিনা মোশাররফ। আই এম শিওর দ্যাট আমাদের আজকের অতিথি জার্মানি থেকে আপনার কথা শুনেছেন, এবং আই এম শিওর দ্যাট হিজ অর্গানাইজেশন উইল ডু সামথিং অ্যাবাউট ইট। আমার এটাই হলো প্রধান প্রশ্ন, যে আমরা কি করছি তাদের জন্য। কি হয়ে গেছিল 70 বছর আগে, 50 বছর আগে, That is part of history. Let us leave it to the historians. We are here today. আমাকে সকালে নাস্তা করতে হবে, দুপুরে ভাত খাইতে হবে, আমার শরীর খারাপ হলে আমাকে হসপিটালে যেতে হবে, আমার বাচ্চাকে স্কুলে যেতে হবে. Are we doing something for them, or are we just saying something great has been achieved 50 years ago? Yes, of course. We all laid our lives, we suffered, the nation suffered, and we have achieved a country. Now we have to put it right, things, and we must look after. They are our honorable people, freedom fighters. They have given us, they fought valiantly, selflessly, and we should be honoring them.
আমি কি বলবো?
জি জি, শিওর, আপনাকে প্রশ্ন করেছি আমি। আমাদের কাছে বেশি সময় নেই, সময়টা আজকে বেশ নষ্ট হয়ে গেছে। গো অ্যাহেড।
আপনার কথার প্রতি যথেষ্ট আমার শ্রদ্ধাবোধ আছে। উনি ঠিক একটা পয়েন্টের কথা বলেছেন যেটা সত্যি প্রয়োজন। এখানে একটা ব্যাপার বোঝার আছে যে আসলে মুক্তিযোদ্ধার ডেফিনেশনটা আমরা যারা যুদ্ধ করেছে তারাই যোদ্ধা। এখন সেই যুদ্ধ 52 বছর আগে কারা করেছিল এ ব্যাপারে অনেকেরই প্রশ্ন আছে, যেটা আপনি শুরুতে বললেন। আমি যে কথাটা এখানে স্পষ্টভাবে বলে দিতে চাই সেটা হচ্ছে যে গণপ্রজাতন্ত্রী বাংলাদেশ সরকার মুক্তিযোদ্ধাদের যে গেজেট করেছে 1,83,560 জন অদ্য অবধি, সেটাই মুক্তিযোদ্ধাদের সঠিক গেজেট হিসাবে আমরা মেনে নিতে পারব।
আমাদের কাছে আর সময় নাই হাতে। Technical facilities, inshallah, we will have a good discussion. আর না হলে আপনি লন্ডনে আসেন, ইনশাআল্লাহ বসে কথা হবে। Thank you very much for being with us. Dear viewers, I'm so sorry that we have lost time because of some technical glitch, but this is part of life we have to go through sometimes. And it was a pleasure having you, Mr. Khosrubhai and Mr. Zina Musharraf. We wish we had the full time to have a detailed discussion. Thank you very much. I hope to see you again and again and again, inshallah. Thank you. Bye.